Jada saw this amazing recipe on TikTok for somewhat of a cinnamon roll, but instead of putting the cinnamon sugar in the middle, they went ahead and put a strawberry jam that was made from scratch. So Jada asked me to make the sweet bread for her so when she gets home from work she can do this dessert, but I've decided to do the whole dessert for her to surprise her. You're watching The Bare Pantry Show. Welcome to The Bare Pantry Show. If you want to learn how to cook in simple steps and have your dishes come out great the first time, then you're in the right place. Learn to make restaurant-style meals, comfort foods, and authentic Belizean dishes from basic ingredients. The recipe that I'm doing for the sweet bread is going to be from my small batch book, No More Leftovers, all right? I do have this recipe in the Pantry Laid Bare also, but that gives you a big batch of the sweet bread or the cinnamon rolls. So let's get right into what we're going to need. We're going to need some warm water. And this is just a 1/4 cup of water. See the recipe right here in the book? I'll also write it down below for you guys, all right? And then put the whole allotment of yeast into the warm water. And then steal some of the sugar from the allotment of sugar so that we can activate the yeast. So let me go ahead and give this a stir. And I'm going to set this aside for like 8 minutes, okay? While this is foaming up, let me go ahead and dump the rest of the sugar in with the flour. It's a little bit of flour, okay? Check the ingredients below. See right here? Little bit of flour. And it needs salt, but I'm not going to put any because my butter is salted. See, the book says use unsalted butter. I always buy salted butter, so I don't add additional salt. Why? Because I have menieres, all right? So now I've melted my butter. I have 1 egg yolk. It's not a whole egg. It's 1 egg yolk, all right? And then you need 1 pretty dog that will lay down and be obedient or stretch. She's stretching.
This holiday season is going to be hectic. It's going to be emotional, but it's going to be special because if you follow the rules and protocol, you might actually get to spend time with your family and friends. If that's what you want to do. Now what you're not going to do is show up empty-handed. No more store-bought pumpkin pies or apple pies. With this easy-to-follow ebook of 25 delicious desserts, you will be the favorite guest at any table. Choose from pies, cakes, puddings, or candies, and watch them eat the entire confection.
Okay, so now the yeast is ready. And I'm going to go ahead and beat up this egg yolk just to mix it up. I'm on a different part of the counter today because Joe is actually cooking while I'm doing this. I told you this was impromptu, right? So this is the vanilla pudding mix, and I'm just going to go ahead and give this a stir in the cold milk. Pudding mix is a trick to making all your bread soft and moist. Okay, so this is stirred up enough. Trying to make sure that none of the powder is left behind. Like my gold spoon. I want a gold, do you call it gold silverware? Goldware. I need a goldware set for Christmas or something. So make a well and start dumping the wet. First of all, here goes the butter. And the butter is not hot, so it's not going to scramble the egg. Or the egg yolk. Okay. Next, the egg yolk. And if your butter is a little bit on the warm side, then add the milk first. The cold milk will cool down the butter, okay? So I'm just adding all the wet and I'm stirring with this 1 chopstick here, but I'm going to switch out to my Myrtle thing in a little while. And pour the milk and the pudding mix. See, I switched out to a paddle here. You can switch out to the handle of a wooden spoon or the handle of a wooden spatula. Then get your hand in there. And just gonna work it around to mix it in well. If you need a couple more drops of water, don't be afraid to do that, all right? So knead it. And at some point, you're gonna wanna get your hands clean because that makes kneading go a lot easier. But right now, I'm just kinda working it through. So the best way to describe kneading for me is like, just play with the dough, you know? Have fun with it. So then I'm shaping it into a ball, then flatten it a little bit with the palm of my hand. Put it back in the same bowl. I don't ever wash the bowl. That's too much work. Then rub a little bit of butter on top. You could rub some oil on top too, but I do butter. Cover it up with a clean dish towel. And now I'm going to take care of the strawberry jam that we have to make from scratch. So I have about 8 big strawberries cut up right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it in a thick stock pot or saucepan. Okay. And we're not making for real jam because we're not going to put the pectin and the lemon juice and all that stuff. It's just going to have the strawberries, sugar, and some cinnamon. Okay. And a pinch of salt, because you always need a pinch of salt to counteract anything that's sweet. And then we're going to put this on the heat. I started, look at the time, 5:28 right there. I'm showing you the time because I want to show you how long it takes to make this. So just give it a stir so it won't burn. I'm on medium heat right here. And then it'll start to boil like this, which is amazing because it smells fantastic. The strawberries and the cinnamon smell so good. Turn the heat down to low, girl. You're going to burn this thing. And see, 5:47. And then it's done. So see the time it takes? Pour it out in a bowl. It's going to sit here and get a little bit thicker. And then when the dough is ready, after it's doubled in size. Now this is supposed to make like 4 decent sized cinnamon rolls, but I'm going to make 8 small ones, all right? So all I have to do is roll out my dough into a rectangle. How you make the small ones versus the big one, when you roll the rectangle, if you roll it from the long end of the rectangle, you're going to get the 8 small ones. If you roll it from the short end, you're going to get the 4 big ones, okay? So I'm going to roll it from the long end of the rectangle. This part's fun too because the dough is not sticky. It's not behaving badly. It's resting and relaxing really nice. See, I think that's Joe that went behind me. He's still cooking. So I'm just going to spread some butter on top with a brush. You can melt the butter too if you want. But I'm just going to do softened butter. And then dump this homemade jam on top. Now I'm wondering, why don't we just use the Smucker's jam, right? But I find out why at the end. So just spread it. I'm thinking to myself, this is the real jam roll, not the stuff that we make with the pie dough, because this is a roll and it has jam in the middle. What do you guys think? So pinch it very carefully and roll it like a towel. See how I'm rolling from the long end and not the narrow end? So this is why I'm going to get 8 small ones, all right? So it's going to be messy. If you don't like mess on your fingers, go ahead and wear gloves. Okay. See, I'm taking my time with it, even though I'm speeding it up. I'm speeding up the video in the editing. So then you want to sew the seam shut, you know, by pinching it, and then cut it. They use a dental floss to do the cutting, but all my dental floss has mint in it, so I don't want my stuff to taste like mint. If you have plain dental floss, go ahead and do that. So just cut it. I'm already realizing that the 7x7 pan is too big, and so I'm going to go with this little tray. I'm going to put aluminum foil on it because I don't want to have to clean up my tray with all this jam that's going to be cooking in here. It might just give me a hard time to clean, so put the what the British say, aluminium foil. So I'm going to take the whole thing out with this bench scraper. Set it here. Light the oven to 350 because this is going to swell pretty quickly. And then stick it in for about, I think 25 minutes is what I did. Yeah, see? 25 minutes. Then when it's done, you want to make some glaze or not. We're going to make some glaze, just some powdered sugar and a little bit of milk. It's always less milk than the powdered sugar, right? Very little. Drizzle on top, and that's going to sink in. So I'm going to make more glaze and put it so that it can look beautiful in my photo shoot. So the hardest part was getting the people that live here to not eat this stuff. See, I'm trying to dress my plate up right here. See? It already sunk in, the glaze. Now I made more, see? Mm-hmm. Jada, what do we call this thing?
Cherries, strawberry cinnamon?
Huh?
No.
This is the true jam roll.
A strawberry.
Right? Because it's jam in there and it's rolled.
Oh, is there jam? It's not cinnamon?
That is.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, pass.
It has cinnamon in it. It's cinnamon in it.
Joe's going to taste it for us.
Strawberries in it.
Oh.
Sugar.
The thing Jada makes to go on pancakes.
No, it sounds better. I thought she just was like.
aftertaste.
Thought she was like, here's a
Let's
jar.
see.
Okay, quiet on the set. That is gonna taste.
Let's see, people,
Why do you use a shrimp fork?
It's fancy.
because I'm fancy.
Okay. Did you get some of the middle? He's using a shrimp fork. That thing won't burn you.
It's good, people.
Do you like it better than cinnamon rolls, or it's in its own category?
I like it better than cinnamon roll.
You do? Okay.
It's a Jada jam roll, cinnamon roll together. And folks, it's hit the spot when you put it in. It's hit the spot. It's good. Now I want you guys to try this. And remember, you get it from the Bare Pantry Show. So don't forget about that.
All right.
Now, tell your friend, tell your mama, tell everybody. Okay? See you, people. Thank you.
Remember, guys, we are not buying this book. Why? Because my distributor is ripping me off and not paying me any of my royalties. So for this reason, I redid the book that's being sold on Amazon and I made this book. I removed a bunch of the recipes from the first book because I did not deem them to be authentically Belizean enough. And I put a bunch of brand new recipes in here. So you're gonna get more for your money, okay? So when you buy this book, you're gonna find that the recipes are very easy to understand and the dishes are gonna come out perfect the very first time. So this book was made in 2018. In the middle of the pandemic in 2020, I made this book, The Pantry Laid Bare, and this is restaurant quality, no, not restaurant quality, better than restaurant quality meals at home. Now in 2021, I have my brand new book. This one's called No More Leftovers. Why? Because I reduced some of the recipes from this book, and I put a bunch of brand new recipes in there, but they're all small batches, all right? Now to purchase, all you have to do is visit my website, www.barepantryshow.com. You can shop safely and securely at www.barepantryshow.com.
You're watching the Bare Pantry Show. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, join Patreon, do all that. Bye.
This is the Bare Pantry Show.